Three. Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon.
I'm
How are you this morning, Travis?
doing pretty well, pretty well. It's a beautiful day here in Florida. It's like bright and sunny. It's like 65 degrees.
Oh,
It's
I'm
really
so
nice.
jealous.
Really nice. What's going on with you? How's your weather?
It's cold. I think yesterday was like 30 degrees. I'm really looking forward to some warmer weather.
Yeah,
So we'll see. But Travis, thanks so much for accepting my invitation.
sure.
To just being a guest on Disney Collectibles Sunday. I know you're part of the family every Sunday, and then I know you're a big pin collector. You and your wife, Stacey. So I'm so happy that you decided to join us this morning. And then good morning, everybody that's in the chat that's joining us. I see that Travis is using his Travis account. Bloom and Cheese, good morning. Meg Dorks, Christian and Michael, good morning. Lizzie, good afternoon to you. Jody and Laura, good morning. And again, good morning, good afternoon to everybody in the chat, everybody that's watching us today. And Travis, for our friends that might not necessarily be too familiar with your channel, I'm going to put you full screen so that you can talk about your channel name, what you do there, all that good stuff. And good morning, Michael V, and Brandon and Heidi from It's Always Sunny. But Travis, the floor is yours.
All right, full screen. Well, well, first of all, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity to be here. So my name is Travis. Our channel name is Stacey and Travis. So my wife and I, we loved going to Disney. And our channel is we're both vegan. So we do a lot of things with what's vegan at Disney, at the Disney parks. So vegan food. So we go to all the festivals Flower and Garden, Food and Wine, things like that. And we go to the different resorts and the restaurants there and see what kind of vegan options they have there. Because Disney is like really good with like allergies and dietary restrictions. So we kind of showcase a lot of that. We love Disney pin trading. So we do videos about some of our favorite like pin trading loops that we do at Walt Disney World and what kind of runs we like to do. So that's a lot of fun. And we love Disney cruising. So we have cruise videos. So I can't wait till that opens back up so we can go back on some more Disney cruises. And for when the pandemic hit, we haven't been back to Disney. It's a year today. So we were back at
Wow.
Disney for Flower and Garden last year. So we were there, and we haven't been back in a year. So I've been home, and I was like, well, let me share my love for Disney pin trading and collecting with everybody. So I've been doing a lot of videos with that.
Yeah. How long have you been collecting pins? Because both you and Stacy both collect pins, right?
Yeah, Stacey and I started pin collecting together. It was just like something that we decided to do because we would go to Disney all the time, and like after a while, you kind of do a lot of the same things, go on the same rides, and we're like, what element could we do that we haven't tried that we could
Right.
do together? So we just started pin trading and just fell in love with it, and it's a lot of fun. You meet a lot of great people, and it's just like it's always like a treasure hunt. You never know what you're gonna find, so it's a lot of fun.
I agree. I think that a lot of our friends here in the chat collect pins. I want to say that everybody in the chat has at least two pins. So, right? I think it's amazing. And yeah, you guys have a lot of pins, don't you?
Yeah, we have a lot of pins. I feel like whenever like you start Disney pin trading, you kind of collect everything, and then over time you can really kind of narrow in like what you really want to collect and things like that. But there's just so many pins. Like I don't know if anyone could ever really be a completist with every pin out there. I feel like there's just so many. But I mean, maybe it's possible. I don't know.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Because your main collection is Little Mermaid, right?
Yeah, so for me, I collect Ariel is like my main collection, so Little Mermaid, but I like different aspects of that. But it's really like pirates, villains, Little Mermaid.
Okay.
Stacey does mostly princesses, but just like select ones like Rapunzel, Jasmine, Aurora, a little bit of Aurora, Belle, things like that. So it's really like princess, villain, pirate as like our main collection. But I don't know. I mean, there's just like if I like the pin, I'm gonna go ahead and get it if I really like it. So you know.
Yeah, I agree. 'Cause I think we talked about this before. When you first start pin collecting, you get a little bit of everything, and then, like you say, you kind of narrow it down, and then you really go with the things that
Right,
you really want to keep in your collection.
right.
A little disclosure: so my Dirk's lightsaber is behind me, and I noticed it started going off by itself. So if you guys hear a random bzzz, it's the lightsaber
It's
that's
the
behind me.
lightsaber.
So I forgot to take out the battery from last time we used it, so I noticed that it was making sounds. So if you guys hear it, it is the lightsaber. But Travis, we have a lot to talk about today, don't we?
I'm excited, and I'm sorry I didn't answer your question. So for pin trading, every time like people ask me, I'm like, oh, it's only been a couple years. It's been like almost 10 years now, which is really crazy. So
10
I've been here
years.
for a long time.
Oh my gosh,
I know.
that goes so fast. I mean, yeah, we moved to New Jersey a little over 10 years ago. So like I said, 10 years go by so fast. I feel like I just moved here. And yeah, 10 years pin collecting.
I
It's
know. It's
amazing.
great. It goes
So you
so
guys should have at least, you gotta have like double the pins that I have. I've been collecting for 5 years, 5.5 years or so. So 10. Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
I know. I keep like trying to like filter through them and like, all right, do I really need these? Can I get rid of these to use the money or trade to like buy ones that I really want? So, you know, you just get sucked in, but it's great.
Yeah. Lizzie says she was still in school.
Oh,
Oh.
great.
uh, I know. It's like, oh, all right. I feel old. But oh my goodness, we should just kind of jump right into the news because again, there's so much to talk about. Travis, you and I kind of talked about some of the things that we're going to be discussing today, and that there's just so much. The very first thing we're going to talk about is, Loungefly. They do have their monthly pin flyers. So their pin flyer for March just came out, and they have a lot of cool pins. It's a nice variety, and there's this one pin that I really want. So I'm actually going to make it full screen so we can see a little bit better.
I mean, I can guess already which one you want to get, I think already.
Oh yeah. Oh, I bet you do. I mean, yes. Which one am I going to get, Travis?
I'm thinking it's the LE800 Harry Potter one is what I'm
Oh
thinking.
yeah, absolutely. Oh my goodness. You know what I did notice though? That this month we don't have as many low edition pins as we've
True.
had in other months. Originally these started with like just LE 500 pins, and then we were seeing anywhere from LE 600 to like maybe like what 1800, 2000.
Yeah.
And now this month they're all LE 1000 except for the Harry Potter pin, which I hashtag need. But these are so cute. And then we already had one pin been released this past week. We had the Vanellope pin. All of these pins, I really like that they're really nicely priced for box pins. They're only $25. So Vanellope was an LE 1000. All of these pins are interactive in some sort of way. So Vanellope is this spinning glitter enamel pin. And then this coming week that starts tomorrow on Tuesday, we are going to have Sleeping Beauty. That one is an LE 1000, is a layer lenticular pin. So I'm assuming that if you move it, she's probably going to be probably going to have a blue or pink dress.
I
And
agree.
then on March, yeah, absolutely. And then on March 16th, we are going to have a pop pin. LE 1000 is going to be a sliding enamel pin. I know that Loungefly is now part of Funko, so it's cool that they have this pop pin coming out during the month as well. And then on the 23rd, we're going to have Stitch, LE 1000 pin, another sliding enamel pin. And of course, on the 30th, we're going to have the pin that I really need. Is a hinge enamel pin, Harry Potter LE 800. I think it's so cute. I love how Hedwig is outside, kind of like on top of the castle, and
Yeah.
then is it outside? Yeah, and then on the inside you have the whole gang with Dumbledore. Travis, what do you think about these pins? Which one is your favorite? Any thoughts about any of these specific pins?
I think the pin flyer this month, I think they did pretty good. I'm liking the pins that I'm seeing. When I saw the Harry Potter pin, I was like, man, you're definitely going to get that. So I thought that was really cool. It seems to me like the pins that aren't Disney, like they did that Ghostbusters pin last month. That was like
Yes.
LE 500, I believe. So those were a little bit lower. So I think they're doing a little bit lower editions on like the non-Disney pins. I am happy to see that they've kind of gone down on the edition size of the limited edition pins. So down to 1,000. So I do like that. I wish they were still in the 500 range, but I get it. I have access for everybody, so I do like that. If it's at like 1,000 or lower, I think I'll be pretty happy, because when you go to the Disney parks and you find pins that are LE 1,000, that's like pretty good. That's not too many of them, so I do like that. The Vanellope one looks really cool, with like the glitter and the spinning. I'm guessing it's the wheels that spin. I haven't seen that pin in person yet, but that's what I'm thinking. And the Sleeping Beauty pen, I 100% agree with you. I think it's with that lenticular element, it's going to change from the pink dress to the blue dress. So I really like that. And everybody loves Stitch, so I feel like Stitch is always going to be a win if you release a jumbo boxed pin. So I think that's really cool too.
Absolutely. I can totally see Christian and Michael from McDork's Pop
Right.
getting that Stitch pin as well. I know that Christian just said that, we need Harry Potter. They are thinking about getting the pop pin as well because you know that McDoors are they're mainly pop collectors. So I can see this being a bit of an expensive month for McDoors with these lounge fly pins. But what do you think about the variety of all these pins they have? I mean, like you mentioned, they did have Ghostbusters last month. I mean,
Right.
they do have a nice variety between Disney pins now, including Harry Potter, all kinds of different fandoms. So what do you think about that?
I like it. I think, I feel like pin collecting, I mean, any collecting really, I mean, is desirable for people like the Funko Pops and different things. Like people like to collect things with the, what do they call it? Nuimos, those
The
little.
Nuimos, yeah.
So people like to collect things. So, having different varieties, not just Disney, but, Harry Potter or Marvel or, any kind of those things, I think they're going to be collectible. So I think it's good that they're kind of doing different things like that. But I really love that they're doing like Disney pins because a lot of people can't go to the parks or can't do things like that. So this is like another outlet for them to still collect, limited edition, nice pins. So I think it's a great thing.
I completely agree with you. I see that Christian is saying Stitch for sure, not a question.
Right.
But yeah, I'm super excited about these. And yeah, definitely I need to get my hands on that Harry Potter pin because I think it's super, super nice. Hopefully they come up with some more of those because I don't know if I told you, but I'm trying to start a small Harry Potter pin collection. So
Right.
this would be my
Well,
first
I
mini
want to
jumbo.
ask you, did you get any of the Harry Potter fig pins when they came out a couple months ago?
Not yet. I've been
Okay.
eyeing them on their website because I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure they still have them available. So
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna get those. And speaking of fig pins, a good thing that you kind of brought that up because I'm
Yeah.
gonna actually move on to some fig pin news that we have. Kind of jumping a little ahead of myself, but I figured that we can talk about this real quick since we are talking about fig pins. And Travis, you actually were the one that kind of brought this up to my attention because I don't think I had seen this before. But on the 10th, which I believe is Wednesday, we're gonna have these pins. So Travis, if you want to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Figpin just keeps just producing all these pins that are just really unique. And I mean, like Riot just came out and they're already having pins for it. And I just think like Fig pins are a good size, and I think the price point for them is really good. Like the open edition ones are $15 and the limited edition ones are 20. So I feel like the price point is very competitive. I feel like if you saw like a 3-inch pin at the parks and it was like a riot pin like this, I think people would easily spend $20, if not 22 or 24.99 for those pins. So I just think their licenses that they have a lot of variety of what pins they can make. And I just think overall, I don't know, it's just a really interesting concept. Fig pins, they have the number on the back, and it kind of gives you like more information about the pin, like what edition it is or what run of that edition it is, just different things about the pin. So I just think it's an interesting element, a different take on pins in general. Because like in Disney pin trading, like people have like the APs or the pre-production pins, and those sometimes people like to collect those as well. So it's just a different take on pins. It's very interesting. So I don't know. I think it's pretty cool.
I agree with you. And it seems like they're going to have a variety from what we're seeing in the pictures. It looks like we have some pins to choose from. And it looks like these are actually going to be for pre-order on Wednesday. It's pre-order at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern time. So I don't think I'll be getting these just because I'm trying to limit my collections. But I
Right.
think that for someone that is trying to start a Raya collection, I know
Yeah.
I saw that Brandon and Heidi said that they need the dragon one. This is a great time to do that because I feel like when the newer movies come out, it's easier to try to get all the pins or try to be as close to a completist as possible because there are not a lot of pins already out from before. So
Right.
this would be a good time where if you want to be a Raya completist, this is, one of the things that you can get, including, along with some of the other Raya pins that Disney might have been releasing through, other, I guess, websites and
Yeah.
stores and
I
things
agree.
like that.
Definitely.
Um,
Yep. I just
yeah,
feel
and then,
Yeah,
yeah,
I just feel like, if it's always great to start, like if something comes out and then pins come out right away, that's like your best chance to start to be a completist for that. I just keep thinking back to when Moana came out, and
yeah.
I was like, I haven't seen the movie, but they were coming out with all these pins and they had some really beautiful pins. Like, I don't know about Moana, I haven't seen it. Are these pins going to be like great? And then I ended up getting some, and then I traded them right away. And now I'm looking back and I'm like, I should have kept them. So it's like, you don't know if this movie is going to take off, if it's going to be really desirable. So it's like, if you can get on it right away, then go ahead and do that before, they're not available, and then you gotta, trade a lot for it or pay more money and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, I completely agree. So definitely this is the time to make a decision. If you think you're gonna be into the movie, if you already watched it, this is the time to start getting these pins so you can get as close to being a completist as possible. And Val, good morning. Thanks so much for joining us. I know she said that they are watching Raya tonight. I do want to watch it. Do you want to? Do you think you guys want to watch it,
Yeah, definitely,
Travis?
100%. But I mean, is it one of those things where you got to pay for it like Mulan? Is that how it works? Is that what they're doing?
I think that it's I don't I might be wrong, but isn't it out on theaters right now that you can
Oh,
actually
like in the
go?
theaters. Yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah. I think it is in the theaters. You're right.
Yeah, I think it's actually on theaters.
I like forget about the theaters because I've been,
I
um,
know, me
well,
too.
I haven't been to the theaters.
Absolutely. Let's see. So Val is saying that Soul is great. Did you get to watch Soul,
No,
Travis?
it seems so. I want to. Stacey and I were talking about it. We're like, we wanted to check that out. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a really cute movie. So yeah, I mean, Disney's coming up with some really cute movies. Let's see, it's in theaters and on Disney Plus, but you have to pay. Okay, I mean, it makes sense because if you go to the theaters, you have to pay anyway.
Yeah.
So we saw it at the theater Friday. Oh, okay.
Oh,
I did you guys post it on Facebook,
yeah.
Brendan and
I saw a
Heidi?
picture. We're there at the theater. Yeah.
Okay, because I feel like I saw someone posting on Facebook that they went to the theaters to see Raya. So yeah, I definitely want to check it out. Val says you can pay extra to watch it on Disney Plus. That is what we are doing. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, and that way, I mean, you can watch it from home, and
Yeah.
you know, and then you can have as many treats as you want, and not have to buy them at the movie theater. um, but moving on to some other news. So we also saw that there is a let me see if I can share my screen one more time. There's actually I know that Loungefly is coming out with a lot of these box pins are being distributed by different stores or retailers. So we're actually having a mini jumbo pin. I'm trying to just move on to the right. Kind of like, I guess not really a slide, but kind of. Where is the pin? Oh, here we go. So this one is through FYE as an FYE exclusive. This one is the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. This is actually an LE 600 pin. It's $24.99. I think it's funny how they made it $24.99 because all of these bucks pins are just an even $25. I mean, but it's yeah, $24.99, and then it's actually going to be it's available for pre-order right now, but the release date is on the 19th. I'm not much of a Marvel collector. I do like Marvel, but I'm not a Marvel collector. But I think it's really neat that now they have FYE also distributing some of these pins, just like we have a modern pinup release all of these Disney princesses pins.
Yeah.
Now we also have FYE kind of getting into the pin game as well. What do you think about this one?
I agree with you. I'm not like a big Marvel collector, but I do like that, it's like just branching out. Like I didn't even know FYE was still around. I thought that like those had closed down. Maybe it's only an online thing now. I'm not really sure. But I mean, I think having a LE 600, jumbo pin if you're a Marvel collector and Falcon and Winter Soldier, I think it's a win. It's a really low limited edition. So if you collect that, I would say definitely go for it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, but it's cool that again that they are getting into this too. And like you said, it's funny because we have an FYE close to us. Our
Oh,
local
you do?
mall has
Okay.
one, and but it's funny because we don't go to it often, and then once in a while we'll be like, "Is it still open? Did they close?" Just because it's one of those stores like you don't always think about going. At least where it's in at our local mall, it's kind of like towards the back of the mall,
Uh-huh.
and I feel like sometimes towards the back of the mall they put kind of some of the stores are might not be as popular. I'm not sure,
But
but
isn't it like a music store? FYE?
so I guess they have a little bit of everything. So
Okay, I got
they have like random like pop culture things. They have like
you.
t-shirts, they have posters, they
Yeah,
have some
okay.
pops, they have
I remember that.
vinyls and yeah, so they do have a little bit of everything there. Oh, there you go. There's an FYE at my mall. So Magic for Four, good morning. Thanks so much for joining us. Magic for Four. They also have another channel called Not Bad Parents, and Chris and Amanda and their kids are absolutely hilarious. So thanks so much for joining us this morning. OJ, good morning. Thanks so much for joining us. FYE has adapted to collection. Okay, that makes sense because I have noticed that when we go to FYE, we do see a lot of pops, and I have noticed that I want to say in the last 2 years, maybe year and a half, they have been releasing some FYE exclusive Funko Pops for different lines like the Office Pops and Star Wars and things like that. So I can see where they have moved more towards like a collection type of store. And Christine, Magic Wishing Star, thanks so much for joining us this morning. So yeah, I always forget about FYE, and so I try to stop by whenever I see a store. I'm like, oh, they are open. Like, let me go in. Definitely. So we also have, talking about pops. I like how our chat kind of goes into it transitions nicely.
We got some good transitions going on here.
Absolutely. Had to mute myself for a second. You say I get carried away talking and then I start coughing. So the next thing we're talking about is actually a Funko Pop. So we had talked about this before. This is actually part of the spring convention or Emerald City Comic Con. I had been looking into this ever since Christian from McDoor's Pop told me that it was rumored that they were going to have a Belle Pop. And I was like, what? You need to keep me updated on this. So yeah, it finally came out on the 4th, which was, I believe, Thursday. And I like that you can actually get this through Box Lunch because it's more accessible than if you were trying to get it through the Funko shop, because Funko had some exclusive releases and I wasn't able to get any of that because I didn't get picked for the lottery. I don't know. I think I'm going to be more prepared now for next time they have an exclusive con release. But going back to Belle, I mean, it's only $15, and I was surprised that it was pretty easy to get. I don't know if it's still available on their website, but it was pretty easy for me to get it on Thursday. And I love that it has a little 30th anniversary logo at the very bottom of the box. I think she looks super cute with her green dress, holding a book. I mean, what do you think about this, Travis? And are you a pop collector or do you have any pops?
I do not have any pops. Like in the beginning, there was these things called Mighty Mugs, I think, and they're like little figurines. So I have a couple of like Marvel ones of those, but that's like as far as I got into it. But I think the Funko Pops, I mean, it's a huge, collection and a huge basis of people that collect these things. I didn't know, like, this is the first time like I've ever like looked into how much they cost. So $15, I feel like that's pretty fair for something like that with the box and the figurine inside. And I mean, for Belle, I think the Funko Pop looks really good. My Stacey collects like pins that have that where the princesses read and stuff. So like Belle and different things like that. So I think the pop looks really good. And did you say this is like just for like a Comic-Con this was released for? Is that what you were saying?
Yes. So this was for the Emerald City Comic Con or ECCC, which is also the spring convention. They do different comic conventions throughout the year.
Okay.
And this was the very first one for the year. McDort, correct me if I am wrong. So yeah, I mean, I feel like depending on the pop, if it's limited or not, it varies in price. Okay, so McDort's Pop are saying that it is still available right now, the pop, if you guys still need it. McDort's just threw the link in the chat. But it depends. They could be anywhere from like $8 to a little bit more, depending on if it's like a more exclusive pop, a bigger pop.
Does it say
Pack.
like I see it says limited edition? Do you know what the edition size is of it, or how would you know what it is?
So I was wondering about that. So McDorks, if you know the answer, let me know in the chat. So I did see that limited edition sticker, but I don't know if it's an actual limited edition of like, let's say 4,000, or if
Okay.
it's their version of Disney's limited release, where
Okay.
it's like limited to this.
Okay.
So so LJ is saying, you're right, ECCC, you have to always count the number of C's. Is the first one of the year, then comes the San Diego Comic Con, and then the New York City Comic Con.
Okay.
All right, so LE for those just means that it won't be reproduced. Okay,
Oh,
so I'm assuming it's kind of like a limited release, that it was just this one time, and once these are gone, like that's it. We're not gonna make them again next year or whatnot.
gotcha.
Um, but yeah, I'm super happy about this pop. It is so beautiful, and I am so pumped that it has that 30th anniversary logo in there too.
Yeah.
So let's see. So LJ is saying the con exclusive are always limited to about 20,000. Holy moly.
Dang.
Um, you
All
see
right.
now
That's a lot.
I know, then those lounge fly high at least don't seem that
I,
bad, huh?
just forget everything I said earlier about it over 1,000. Just forget about it.
Yeah, but that is good to know because I kind of figured it was like a limited release because I feel like Disney's limited release, it could be like an LE 20,000,
Right. Right.
that they have a lot, and they're limited, but they're not so limited where they're going to
See,
sell out
that's
in like
that's so crazy that you say that about like limited release pins versus limited edition pins. Like, I feel like I go back because there's been like limited release pins that have been sold out like super fast and they never came back, even though they were limited release. And vice versa versus like limited edition, because once those sell out, like they're not coming back. So you would think the limited release pins would be around for a lot longer. But I've seen like limited release pins just in days be sold out and they never came back. So
Yeah.
that's crazy.
It's true, but I was kind of thinking about the Great Adventure, American Adventure pins. Remember?
Yeah,
So
the Mac.
those were limited release, except
Right.
for the chasers. And that one, when it first came out, it was such a craze, and they sold out so quick. And I want to say maybe like a few months later or a little later on that year, they re-released them,
They
and it
really,
was just as crazy. And on that second round was when I was able to complete the set. So I think it just really depends.
yeah,
For example, with Disney, if they think that they were so popular that they're worth
right.
re-releasing later in the year, because I know they did that with the American Adventure pins. But you're right. Depending on what it is, they could be as limited as a limited edition pin. So I see LJ and Mike Doors are having a conversation about the cons. So Mike Doors talking about the WonderCon. So actually, Mike Doors, Christian sent me a link on Instagram about just a little sneak peek. So I guess Hot Topic, if I'm not mistaken, all right, correct me, Christian, if I'm wrong, but Hot Topic is going to be releasing an Enchantress pop for WonderCon. And
Just like from Beauty and the Beast Enchantress.
yes, yes.
Oh man. Okay. Now listen, if that box is like a stained glass art piece, I think that'll be phenomenal.
So does that mean that that's going to be your first pop?
I mean, I don't know, but I love stained glass stuff, so possibly we'll see.
Yeah, like
I got excited when you said that. That was like the first thing of what my mind went to.
let me see. I'm actually going to try to open another window real quick and see if I can find the one that Christian sent me. Let's see here real quick so that I can actually show you the link. Let's see if I can find it real quick. It was through Funko Finders. Alrighty, so I'm gonna go ahead and switch from one to the other. Okay, and hi, I'm here. So let me go ahead and share that one. Like I said, it took me by surprise. I had no idea, but I do like my Beauty and the Beast. So when I heard about this, I was like, okay, I need to get this. Let me see. Is this the right one? Yes.
Oh,
So
see,
there it is.
see,
So
I'm liking that.
me too, like a lot. So
Right.
basically, according to what Funko Finders is saying, the 2021 edition of WonderCon is going to be virtually March 26th and 27th, and there are going to be some shared exclusive pops, which is what happened with the Bill Pop, which is a shared exclusive through Box Lunch. This one right here, the Enchantress should be Hot Topic based on the initials that I see, and then the other ones are through other retailers like Box Lunch and whatnot. But look at that. I don't know if this is going to be what the pop is going to look like, but I love the animation they used for this. It's just like again like the stained glass, and the Enchantress is holding the rose. Oh my gosh.
Really like that. I keep telling Stacey, I'm like, I wish they would do like some kind of like a stained glass series of like that piece right there, because I think it would be a really beautiful set if they did something like that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I see Lizzie saying Enchantress will be amazing. I agree. And Travis, like you said, if they do any kind of stained glass artwork on the box too, oh
Yeah.
my gosh,
Cool.
that is one of those pops where you kind of need to display in a box. Typically, I keep my pops inside the box, but there are a couple that I have outside of the box. But yeah, if the artwork is just like that, then yeah, it needs to be kept inside the box.
That'd be pretty great. Side note, real quick, I wanted to ask. I know that on your last video, you were talking about like I guess there's some kind of app with Funko Pops. Did you say that last time?
Yes.
Okay.
So similar to, you know how Figpin has an app.
Right.
So Funko has an app, and it's pretty user friendly, or at least I think it is.
Okay.
So you set up your account, which is free,
Hmm.
and it opens up as a scan product, and then it opens up your camera on your smartphone, and then you can zap the barcode, and then you can start adding them to your collection, kind of like electronically, so that way you can kind of keep
Okay.
track of your pops.
Got
Um, and
So
not
so
only
it's more for like just like record keeping of like which ones you have versus like I was leading into that question because I didn't know like if you scanned it or whatever, would it tell you what edition, like if it was a limited edition, would it tell you what limited edition of that it is or no?
So, from what I know, it just tells you what kind of pop it was, because some pops are just, I guess, their version of open edition, some are limited edition. So it will tell you exactly what it is.
Gotcha.
It will tell you if you have a chaser or a chase, I guess, in the pop world is a chase. And then it tells you what the PPG, which is like the pop price guide value is. So it kind of tells you, for example, let's say that Enchantress pop, we get it. Let's say the retail price was $15, but it says that the value that it's going for is like $50. So it will tell you the PPG or the pop price guide says that the value is about $50. So that's another thing too. So like if you think about later on selling your collection, you know what the trending value is for this pops as well. So I like that too, which
I
I
like that
think
feature.
yeah, I think they should do that with pins. I feel like Disney should
100%.
have like an app that they did that
Yeah.
because I mean, not only do I keep track of my pops, but then I also know the trending value and all that good stuff.
Right.
So
But it's really hard to figure out values with stuff, especially when you're trading with people or you're doing different things. If you trade that way, if you try to trade by value, because things change all the time. Some things go up, some things go down. So it's always hard to kind of keep track of how much things are or how much you can trade for different things.
absolutely. And good morning, Nathan. Thanks so much for joining us. I see that McDork's Christian is saying that he still needs the Bell Wishable with the gold dress. So if anyone here is trading that, Christian is definitely interested. But yeah, I mean, oh my goodness, we're already 32 minutes into the stream. We still have so much to talk about. So another thing that I wanted to talk about real quick is, have you heard about the Treasures of the Vault, Travis?
Treasures of the Vault.
Mm-hmm.
Is that D23?
So these are these like plushies that are being released through Amazon. And then so far we have had January and February, and then
Okay.
D23 members typically get a little sneak peek at what the newest release is going to be. So let me go ahead and share my screen real quick, and then we're going to see the ones that we've had so far for January and February, and then I'll show you what the one for March is going to look like. Alrighty, so I think I have it right here.
Okay.
Excuse me. So yeah, so we have for January, we had Lady from Lady on the Trap. February, we had a nice little set of Mickey and Minnie. And then it says early reveal was on Thursday for the 23 members. I think you might have seen a sneak peek of what the March plush is going to be. It's a character that I don't really care for that much. So let me go ahead and show you guys who we actually are going to have for March. So let me go ahead and share my, keep on jumping from one screen to the other. So let's see here.
Doing great. You're doing great.
Huh?
So you're doing great.
Well, thanks. I feel like sometimes it just kind of looks like I am staring into space. Hold on, this is the wrong one to share. And I'm back. Let me see. I have to juggle in between all these different like tabs that I have open right now. So let me see. It's getting there. And alrighty. And I found my friend Pinocchio. So Pinocchio is gonna be the one for March. And when I say my friend, I don't really mean that. That's one scary little dude. Um, but here we go. So Pinocchio is gonna be the March edition for the Treasures of the Vault. Disney plushes released through Amazon. I mean, for people that like Pinocchio, it's really adorable. And I believe these went on sale on Friday. Um, for D23 members, I'm not sure if the what's the word I'm looking for? The general release was also on Friday, but I know that typically D23 members get a little sneak peek. Let me see. Lizzie is saying, I have Mickey and Minnie for my birthday. They are really good quality. I feel like when Disney releases plushes that are just a collection of itself, those plushes tends to be really nice quality. Do you have any Disney plushes, Travis? Do you or Stacey have any?
Well, I was gonna say no, but yes, we do have one. I have like a little Pascal that we have that we've had for a little while. Sometimes we'll bring it with us when we go to Walt Disney World and stuff, so that's always fun. But no, we don't really collect plushies. But I was gonna ask, what Lizzie thought about these. But I agree with what you're saying. Like D23 releases, like I've been to a couple of the D20 like Destination Ds over here at Walt Disney World, and they release some of the plushes for like Mickey and Minnie's birthday for their 90th. And when I was looking at them, I agree. Like the quality was really, really good for the plush. So if this is the same idea, like it's from D23, then I would assume that the quality would be really good, kind of what Lizzie is saying.
Yeah, so with these, I know that they are released exclusively through Amazon as far as I know, but D23 members are getting some little extra perks. I think it's probably because, these in-person events that D23 used to have are not really happening
Yeah,
currently because of, the pandemic and whatnot.
right.
So, I feel like they're kind of giving the members some extra perks just so that they feel like, the membership is still worth having. So, I think, I think it's a nice idea, especially if you're a plushie collector, like a serious plushie collector. Let's say, for example, like Lizzie. Lizzie was saying that she was surprised that I showed it. You see, I'm not afraid of Pinocchio, but I don't like Pinocchio because, like, he ruined my childhood. So I'm not too into it. But I think it's still, a good idea that they are going with some really iconic Disney characters. Of course, we did have. Lady, January, Mickey and Minnie, and then now Pinocchio. So I'm really curious as to what they're going to have for April. And I don't really see myself getting any of these unless it's a character that I really want, like let's say Belle or like a
Yeah.
Beast plushie, which I actually need a Beast plushie. I don't have one. I need a Beast plushie. um, but there's something else that we're going to talk about. So I know we were talking about Raya a few minutes ago, but we actually had another surprise Disney Studio Store Hollywood online release. This was their I know their Raya and the Last Dragon online pin release. I did not know about this until the moment it was happening. I found out maybe like 10 minutes before it was starting, really. I was going through my feeds on Instagram, and Disney Studio Store Hollywood posted on their Instagram that, hey, it's gonna go live in like 10 minutes. And I'm like, what? So they typically post the link for the queue on their Instagram page and also on their Facebook page. I entered the queue and, I was already waiting. I was waiting 10 minutes before they opened the queue. But, once this queue opens, it's really at random. So
Right.
you would think that because you were waiting 10 minutes before that you are going to have a really low number. No, that is not the case. I was waiting 10 minutes before and I had number 5,000.
Oh
I
God.
didn't get anything. How did you make out with this,
Oh,
Travis?
well, I didn't find out until way later. I feel like every time that like I'm scrolling on Facebook or finding, it's like always after the fact. Like I'm always like a half an hour to an hour late because California is 3 hours behind. So I'm like at that point during the day, if it's at noon, it's 3 o'clock here. So I'm like I'm doing doing other things. But yeah, I mean, I found out about it. Like I said, it was like an hour. I was like number like 6,000 something. So it's pretty much game over at that point. But one of these days, I'm always hopeful. But just kind of like what you said, it doesn't matter when you enter that queue, as long as you're in before it opens up. It's all random. So once it opens, everything gets randomized. I guess if that's the word. So Yeah, I'm sorry that you had such unlucky number, but you know what's going to happen is they're going to do some kind of like Beauty and the Beast anniversary one, and you're going to be like number 2, and you're going to get everything. Is what's going to happen.
You know what? I hope so. And if that is the case, I am gonna be messaging everybody. Like, people, just get on that queue, and if you can get pins, hook me up. But yeah, I mean, I have gotten lucky with these online releases in the past, but they have been for things that I don't necessarily collect.
Right.
And I have bought them as traders. Um,
Which
I
are
did
great
go
traders. I mean, it's great to get these even if you don't collect them as traders, because Disney soda fountain pens are really nice and really good quality. So, and they're really low limited edition. So I would definitely, even if you don't collect it, and get them as traders.
Absolutely. Like with this one, if I was able to get any pins, I really wanted the marquee El Capitan pin
Yeah.
and the kind of like stained glass type of pin at the bottom. This is group. I think those pins to me were the prettiest out of all of them.
Mhm.
And these marquee pins, they tend to go up in value.
Yeah.
So I figure I would get either one of those or both of them if possible, because they are really pretty pins. So I might even keep them. So I was gonna get those two no matter what if I had the chance to, and if I didn't keep them, then they would be good traders in the end. Because I feel like Raya is gonna be really popular, kind of like Moana, where
So,
Moana, it just became like really popular, like out of nowhere, and it's one of these like newer Disney movies.
right. I agree. 100% agree. I think the marquee, like you said, I think that one's always going to be popular. There's people who just collect marquees, like that's their collection. So I think that would be pretty desirable. The group photo, if that is stained glass, I think that would be a pretty interesting pen. And then the Raya stained glass on the right, like the stained glass pens, whenever they have them on these flyers, they never do any justice. So I'm really curious to see how that comes out, because I can only imagine that's going to come out really pretty. So I think that would be a good one too.
I agree with you. Like, I thought that I read on like a Facebook post that that group picture is a stained glass also, and if it is, it'll be a beautiful picture just because of the colors.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
oh my
Exactly.
goodness, that would be such a pretty picture pin. And that's true. That Raya stained glass pin to the right of the marquee pin is actually a really pretty pin too. I think that all these pins are cute, but um, we'll see. I feel like when they did the last online release, DSSH, um, they uh, they hinted to someone in the comments on their post that they were going to have a lot more of these online pin releases. So I just wish that they would give you more of a heads up.
Right. I'm really excited and happy that they're even doing it online, because back in the day before all this happened, it was like you had to go to the store to do these releases, and people would line up outside. And I had just heard like crazy stories about just how hard it is to actually get these pins. It's still hard now, but at least you're at the comfort of your own house, and it's a random process, and whatever happens kind of happens. So it's just really nice that it's accessible to everybody. So I really do
I
like
completely agree. I remember reading some of those stories. People would line up at what, like 6 in the morning. You see people camping outside,
that. Right.
and then I think it's like a lottery there too. They give you like tickets. I forget exactly how it works, but
Yeah.
it's one of the reasons why these Disney Studios or Hollywood or soda fountain pins are so expensive, because a
Right.
lot goes into being able to snag one of these
Yeah.
pins. So, like
Time,
you,
time and effort, right?
huh?
So a lot of time and effort if you're waiting out there for whatever 6, 7 hours.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, like you said, I'm also grateful they're doing these online releases. I guess in a way it's good that they're kind of last minute, so that people that are trying to use bots and things like that don't know beforehand. I mean, I don't know if bots really play a part into not being able to get a desired number, but I mean, if it's at random, I think that makes it, I guess, fair for everybody.
Hopefully it's random.
Right, right.
Hopefully
Um,
it's random. That's how I want to think in my mind, that it's random. Hopefully they don't say like, oh, this IP address is from Florida, so forget it. We're not gonna put it
Oh, like we have too many Florida people here. Let's put someone else to the
right.
mix. But yeah, no, but let's see. I wonder who else are gonna have, and if they do a Beauty and the Beast release, oh my gosh, I need them. I need them. Hashtag need.
It'll
Um,
happen. With every anniversary, they always do, things like that. And D23 usually does releases for anniversaries and stuff. So, it's gonna loop back around again. So they'll come.
We'll see. We'll see. Now, another thing that we saw is as we're going kind of like down the week in Disney news. So, yesterday we actually had a new collection kind of pop up on Shop Disney. Now, I was talking to Lizzie about these. So, these were actually released first in the UK. And this is the the child plush and pin collection, they are sold separately. But if you go and shop Disney, there is an option to buy the set and basically just kind of purchase them together. But I think these are really interesting. I think that in the UK, from what Lizzie and I were talking, they were weekly releases. But here in the US, they just kind of release all of them at once, like all four releases, like boom, they're there, enjoy. So I wonder why they did that. I think that I don't know if they didn't think they were as popular maybe in the UK. So here they just kind of push them all out there and just kind of see what happens. Or I don't know if somehow they were delayed, which is why they just kind of push all of them at once, or if maybe they are delayed with some other collections, which is why they needed to put these out there as soon as possible. What do you think about that? I thought that was very interesting, the contrast with how they were released in the UK and how they're being released in the US.
Yeah, that's really interesting how you said that. They only released every week or whatever you said, like individually in the UK, but they released them all here. So I don't know if they're just trying to get everything out there with, the Star Wars and, the child merchandise and things like that. I think I was talking to you a little bit about it before, but I feel like in the UK, if you're releasing one at a time, I would think you would have more of a chance for, if people are plushie collectors or things like that, that they would, go for it each week. But if you have all four of them at the same time, they might just kind of pick their favorite one and just go with that versus getting all of them. So I don't know. I think it could go either way.
Yeah, absolutely. So my chat kind of froze on StreamYard, so I'm reading the comments on my phone now. So Lizzie's correction is they were actually released every 2 weeks in the UK, not weekly. So then this took a lot longer then. So it took them like 2 months or so maybe to release the whole collection. And
I thought
now here,
it would like build up every week, like you got,
yeah,
what's the next one going to be? And then it would kind of build up.
yeah.
It would get
So
going.
absolutely. I was looking at LJ's comment too. He said that he's starting to hate Grogu because I think that in a way it's just that there's so much the child merchandise out there. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think the child is adorable, but I
Agreed.
can see how some people can be a little can think that it's oversaturated out there with like Baby Yoda merchandise. Even way before The Mandalorian came out, there was so much Baby Yoda stuff out there that people were like wondering if that is just really Yoda as a baby. Like, there's been a lot of Grogu stuff out there for a very long time now, but I still think that it's cute.
Yeah, I agree. I think they're cute, and I mean, The Mandalorian's a great show, so I just think they're just going to ride this train as long as they can. Disney is, they're a business. They're in it to make some money and keep afloat, stay alive. So releasing these things, and people love this kind of stuff. So I think they're doing what they need to do. So I think that's why they probably released them all at the same time. Just keep that momentum going with, The Mandalorian and things like that.
Yeah, I'm actually reading Lizzie's comment. She's saying they didn't even show a sneak peek. You had to wait until Monday at 8. That's when I guess Shop Disney UK has all the new releases out. And that's when you were able to see whether you wanted to buy it or not. So she said she got 3 out of the 4 because she didn't really like the Grogu with the squid. And then LJ is saying that he doesn't have any Grogu pops or anything else.
I'll ask Lizzie a question. Lizzie, were they like still available like when the new one came out, the one previous, was it still available or were they selling out? I'm curious to know.
Yeah, me too. I'll let people know once I read it in the chat on my phone. But so Michael V, he's also saying that they make a lot of the child merchandise, but people still end up getting it all. So Disney is smart. So yeah, oh absolutely. I'm sure
Yeah,
that Disney
they
knows
know what
that
they're doing.
people love it.
They know what they're doing.
Absolutely. So while we wait on Lizzie's response and see, what she says about that, I have it. I think that because once in a while I'll check Shop Disney UK, just kind of see what's out there. And I feel like all these Grogu pins and plushes are still there. All right, so Lizzie did say, yeah, Travis, they didn't sell out. So if I wanted it, I could still get the squid even now. And it was released
Okay.
February 8th, so pretty much a month ago.
Yes, you could save on shipping then, if you would just were going to get them all at the same time instead of having one shipped each time. It's just curious, because if the one previous was selling out, it would make me think like, hey, this is like pretty desirable. People want these, so I got to be right on top of it when the new one comes out. But if the other one was still available, then I probably wouldn't feel as much pressure to get the newest one if the other one was.
Right. I completely agree. She's saying that she thinks the pin's sold out, but she's gonna go check. Like,
Gotcha.
I feel like that also happened with the Midnight Masquerade pins last year.
Okay.
In Shop Disney in the US, I think they pretty much went pretty quick. But in Shop Disney UK, a lot of them were still available for a while because I remember telling Lizzie that I was missing one or a couple of them, and she's like, "Well, they're still available through Shop Disney UK."
Yeah.
She was offering to get some for me, but
Cool.
luckily I was actually able to get them in store at other stores here. So Lizzie's saying, "Oh no, all pins and plush are still in stock."
All right. Okay.
Wow.
All right.
Maybe that's the reason why Shop Disney in the US was like, you know what? Let's put them
Yeah.
all out there, see what happens.
For sure. Yeah.
Absolutely. And you know what? Jumping to something a little bit different from what we typically talk about. I think I showed this to you already, but I saw that Lego is coming out with a super cute Winnie the Pooh Lego set. So this is actually done through the ideas program. So people kind of put ideas out there of some Legos they think that Lego should make, and then they go into like a voting, and then they decide which sets are actually going to get made. So Winnie the Pooh won. So this one is going to actually be released on April 1st, and it is going to be $100. But it looks like it's quite big. I mean, it has 1,265 pieces. So that's a lot of pieces.
Yeah.
It is an 18 and older, only because of, I guess, the complexity of, trying to put this together in all the pieces. I'm assuming it also has really tiny pieces. But it is so cute. I mean, what do you think about this? Do you collect Legos? I know I think we talked about the Ecto One Lego set.
So I don't collect Legos, but my cousin is a big Lego collector, and I mean Lego I feel like is just huge. Even like at I'm gonna call it downtown Disney, but Disney Springs at Walt Disney World, they have that Lego store there with those beautiful, Lego statues that they have of all the different scenes and stuff. So Lego is huge. I think this Winnie the Pooh set looks amazing. I'm really happy to see that they have some kind of these like Lego sets, and like I said before, we're talking about the Ghostbusters Ecto One Lego set that had come out and how that looked really cool. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it looks amazing. I don't know if the price point is great at $100, but I feel like for someone who loves Winnie the Pooh and loves Legos, I feel like it's a win-win. So
Absolutely. And Christy, thanks so much for joining us. She is saying, Winnie the Pooh Lego set, awesome idea, so adorable. And Christian and Michael from Dorks Pop are saying, $100, Black Friday sale, where are you at? But hopefully this is one of those sets that will be here to stay, like the Cinderella Castle Lego set, which I think it's been around for a little bit. I think that one keeps on restocking often. Also, Diagon Alley from Harry Potter, there's another Lego set that's really popular that constantly sells out, and they've restocked. Now, those sets are a little on the pricier side. I believe it's $350 for the Cinderella Lego set and $400 for the Diagon Alley Lego set. So hopefully this Winnie the Pooh will be here to stay. So that way, like Christian and Michael from McDorks said, maybe when Black Friday comes, we can get a nice discount on that.
yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great. I don't know. I feel like when I look at this kind of stuff, I'm like, it looks so awesome. And if I did get it and I build it, I feel like I need somewhere to like display it, like at my house. Like if I'm taking that much time to build it, I want to like show it off somewhere. So I feel like I would need like a nook or somewhere to display your Lego sets.
Absolutely. Now, we were talking about the ideas, and you guys in the chat, let me know too. So Lego takes ideas to possibly make into sets, and people vote on them. Travis, is there a set that you would want to have Lego make, whether it's Disney or Harry Potter or any other fandom? You guys in the chat, let me know if there's a Lego set that you think you would want Lego to make. Me personally, I was kind of looking at some of the things that they have on their website right now, because people can vote for some of the ideas out there. And there was one for a Hocus Pocus Lego set. And I am all about that. I also love Hocus Pocus. So I would definitely love to see a Hocus Pocus Lego set. What about you, Travis?
I don't know. My mind just goes like to a million different places. Lego, I don't know, I'm thinking like some kind of like Rapunzel's tower type thing.
Ooh.
I think would be really cool if they did something like that. I don't know if they have one like that, but if they didn't, I think that would be pretty amazing. Then my mind like jumps over to Kingdom Hearts, which is a video game that incorporates Disney elements with it. So something in that realm might be really cool. So that's, I don't know, like stuff like that, I would think. But yeah, princess or villain or something like that, maybe some kind of villain theme of like Chernobog with like his wings or something. I don't know, something like that. I think would be really cool.
Yes, I actually see Lizzie is saying, I want a Monsters Inc. set like the scare floor or something. You know what, Lizzie? I'm actually going to try to pull this on the on another window. So Lego, because like I said, they have different sets that people are kind of voting for right now. There is a Monsters Inc. one. I remember there was like a Sully in there and Boo, and then they also had the door. Let me see if I can actually pull that up on another window here. It took me a while to find them the other day when I was kind of like going through Lego and just kind of see what they have because, I really like this. It's just, it's nice to put together with, family and things like that. And it just, it kind of makes your head like think a little bit more. So I'm actually going to switch slides real quick and jump onto, just my head there, floating head, like Madame Leota. So let me go ahead and switch screens real quick. All right, perfect. So this is the Hocus Pocus set that I was talking about. So people are currently voting for this one. I think that's so cool. And then you even see the little mini like Lego figurine of Billy from Hocus Pocus. Do you like Hocus Pocus, Travis?
Yeah, I do. It's funny because I like when I was younger, like I watched it a couple times, but Stacey and I, we love holidays, so Halloween's like one of our favorites besides Christmas. But like you have like the staple Christmas movies that you watch, and I feel like Hocus Pocus is now becoming like that staple Halloween movie that everybody watches. So we watch it like every year now, and I mean, it's really great. So we really enjoy it.
Definitely. So there are some other categories here, like a dojo, but I'm trying to see if I find labyrinth. That's interesting. Let me see. I'm trying to
Is that
see
from the movie? Is that from the movie Labyrinth?
maybe.
It's Vincent did do Labyrinth. Huh, that's interesting. That's pretty cool. All right. That's like old school 80s movie stuff.
Yeah, so it's kind of cool because it tells you, I guess, who submitted this idea, and
Uh-huh.
it tells you how many
Okay.
supporters it has, how many days it has left before the voting is over. Looks like we have
That's
some kind of
interesting.
retro arcade. I'm kind of moving through this real quick because I want to find the Monsters Inc. one for Lizzie. So I'm not trying to make you guys dizzy by doing this. This one is a really cute one too.
Yeah,
This one
Kellen.
doesn't seem to have as many supporters, but I think it's a really cute idea. Lego insects as well. Daft Punk, that's interesting. Sorcerer's Tower. So let's see. I'm trying to see if I can. Brooklyn Nine-Nine. That is pretty funny. I have never really watched this show, but I know a lot of people say that this show is actually really funny. Have you ever watched it?
I haven't. No, I haven't. I haven't watched Brooklyn Nine-Nine. We watch a lot of different shows, but that wasn't one of them. Is that the Monsters Inc. right here?
Yep. So it looks like my stream my chat fixed itself. So I know that McDoris won a Stitch Lego set, Hocus Pocus, Epcot or Magic Kingdom. So they do have the Cinderella Castle. So I
I like.
wonder, and I know they have Main Street. If I'm not, I'm pretty sure they have the main they have Main Street, right? I think so. I know they have like the train, but the Hocus Pocus is great, and I just want to see what Lizzie has to say about this one. I knew I had seen it, and I was like, I thought about Lizzie right away. It looks like it has a decent amount of supporters, almost 3,000 supporters. It still has, a lot of time left. I mean, there's 365 days in a year. So we're talking it has like almost 2 years for this to kind of come into fruition if they think that it has enough votes to get made. There you go. Everybody go vote for it. I knew Lizzie was gonna like it. And I really like it because the colors also pop. I love how the pink door pops, and of course, Sully, it's the himself, like he pops too. But I think these are absolutely adorable. I see Lizzie's comment. She's like, shall I ask my Instagram followers to go vote for it? Uh, you totally should. What do you think, Travis?
I think so. Yeah, definitely do that. I think that looks really great. The Monsters Inc. with the door and the characters there. I think it looks amazing. It reminds me. It brings me back. It was probably my second pin trading event at Epcot. I was like one of the first people at one of the boards, and I pulled that door, that jumbo door. It was a release from the year prior, but it was the jumbo Monstrous Ink door, and it was the artist proof version of that pin. And that was like the first pin that I pulled at the pin event, and I was like super pumped about it. So it kind of brings me back to that. So I think it looks great.
That is amazing. You know, the one thing that I miss about the pin events is exactly what you said. You can pull some amazing pins
I
off
miss
their
that.
trading boards.
I miss that so much.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Artist proof pins, pre-production pins. Oh my goodness. I definitely miss that. I know that word on the street is that, you know, this is really trying to push for an in-person event this year. So, you know, if that happens, I'll be so excited to see what we can get off the boards because I mean, it's been a full year of like awesome pins coming out, maybe some pins that were supposed to come out that didn't come out.
Right. So the
So
boards could be like really stacked if they do it because they've had a year to collect artist proofs or different pins of that. So the boards could be really, really good. And I think a lot of people, some people just go to those pin events. They don't really trade with people, but they go just for the boards because you can pull some amazing pins off of those boards, and the majority of them are going to be artist proof or pre-production. So it's a really good thing for people to come if they don't want to necessarily pin trade with other people. So
I completely agree. When we went to Animation Celebration
yeah.
and we got a bunch of pins from the American Adventure pin set, which is why we ended up going for it later on when it got re-released.
See, that's right. Yeah, you start collecting a couple and you're like, okay, I have like 3 or 4 of these now. Might as well go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And a lot of them were chasers. So we were like, ooh, we have like a lot of the states already.
right,
So
right.
yeah. Oh, and then I met actually I met Laura during the pin trading night last year, back in February. So it's been a year, Laura, since we met. Oh my gosh. So we met during the Cinderella 70th anniversary pin trading night last year.
Cool. Yeah, yeah.
So that was pretty cool. I feel like we did more socializing than trading there. um, but oh my goodness, we're at the hour, but just a couple more things I want to talk about real quick. I don't want to keep you guys here all morning. So for tomorrow, we have a couple of special D23 pin releases dropping on Shop Disney. Let me go ahead and go back here and share this real quick. Oh, share. All right, here we go. So this very first pin here is actually just a D23 exclusive Mickey Mouse pin. And I like it. It's very simple, but it just kind of, it's almost like a token for being a D23 Gold member, whether you're the Gold family member or just like a gold, like an individual Gold member. I think it's like a little badge. So I definitely want to get this pin. This pin is going to be just $9.99. It's going to be available tomorrow on Shop Disney at 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern. I didn't see anything about it. Oh, no, never mind. Here we go. It is a limited release. So I was like, oh, I forget what kind of edition size it is. So it is a limited release. So, you know, these limited release pins, they tend to be a little cheaper than limited edition, but I really like the design. It's simple, but to me, it's just like a little badge to wear, you know, with it, you know, to wear proudly. I don't know. What do you think about this, Travis?
I agree with you. I think it's simple, for the gold members. Part of me feels like when you register for D23, they should have just given you this pin, as like a little extra, like, hey, thanks for being part of the club, like a little extra. I know they give you stuff already, but I have a feeling in my mind like the D23, the Goofy movie pin set on that card, they were like
Mhm.
super tiny. So I'm afraid that this pin is going to be like micro tiny too. I don't know, but I don't know. My mind kind of leans towards that way. I'm not sure. With the price at $9.99, I'm thinking it's going to be like a
Um,
really.
I
a-
can see that.
I mean, I don't know, but that's where I think, which is fine, but I just feel like they should just give that to you because you are a gold member. So they should just drop ship it to you. Like, thanks so much for being part of the crew or something like that.
Yeah, I could totally see that. Lissy was saying, let's see, my chat is a little delayed on StreamYard, but on the phone, she's saying, I wish they'd given it to us with our gift box. Without you, Mel, I wouldn't be able to get it. So it's crazy because Lizzie is a D23 member in the UK, but if she wanted to purchase D23 exclusive brokership through our Shop Disney, because they are not shipping to the UK right now, you wouldn't be able to get it. So I think it's kind of unfair. So I think they should release these items also on Shop Disney UK because they also have, you know, the 23 members there that also pay for their membership. So this spin is actually, you can get two per person. So I'm going to get one for me and one for Lizzie tomorrow. But this is not the only D23 exclusive pin that is coming out tomorrow. That would be nice to give it to the members. Why make people buy it? So they already like Travis said, they already give you like a gift box for being a paid member. And they include some pins in there and some other little things. But I do think that this specific pin, you're right, should be part of the membership because it just
Yeah, it's
really
very
highlights.
specific, right. It's very specific to you as a gold member.
I completely agree. And just to move on to the very last item. These pins are coming out tomorrow as well. These are exclusive to D23 Gold members. This is just to celebrate the International Women's Day. And I think it's really cute how all these pins, they kind of look like stamps. So and then you have all kinds of different princesses, and then you have all the different years the movies came out, which I think is so cool. And these pins are actually LE 250, so these are low edition pins. These are going to be decent sized pins. They are a 2.2.25 inches high, so almost 3 inches, like high, I guess. So they're
Two-
decently.
Oh, two.
Huh? Oh, I think I had like a bit of an issue with the audio real quick, but yeah, I think these are really, really cute. What do you think about these, Travis?
Oh, it's coming back.
Yep, I hear you now. I had you see, I had my screen on the other tab, and so
Gotcha.
I
Okay.
didn't notice what had happened. But yeah, so what do you think about these?
I mean, LE 250. I mean, that's amazing. So even if you don't collect something like this, it'd probably be a great trader. I think princesses are very tradable, characters. So I would go for it if they're not, for your collection. Good size, and I mean, I collect a lot of the princesses, and then you kind of get into the point where it's like, yeah, I collect some of these princesses in that set, but then it's like, do you just go for the whole set because you're gonna have 3 or 4 of them that you already collect? So I think it'll be a really nice set to collect the whole thing. So I like them. What do you think, Melissa?
I think they are really cute. I think they are. I mean, they're a little on the pricier side. They're $23 each.
Hmm.
So if you wanted to get all of them, it's gonna be a little pricey. But I do like that they have all kinds of different princesses. I'm kind of going through the different princesses. There's you have
It looks
Tiana.
like it's pin on pin from the picture. It looks like.
It does. And I really like the glittery background too. It just kind of makes everything pop. And I love how the year in which they were made, the
Right.
movies, is on the postage stamp. So I don't know how I feel about the artwork on Belle's face. I feel like she
Right.
doesn't look she doesn't look as great. But that's definitely the one that I'm going for. There is Ariel. What do you think about Ariel?
It looks pretty good. Listen, I'm a stickler for faces, so I try to pay attention to the faces. I think the face looks pretty good. I'm curious to see with the size. I think it's a good size, so I feel like they have the room to make everything look pretty good. But I think overall it looks pretty good.
Yeah, like I think they were really cool. I'm happy to see that they included Pocahontas here because I feel like you
Yeah,
don't see as many Pocahontas pins out there.
I agree.
And yeah, I think this is the last one. Rapunzel. I think it's a really pretty pin too. I love the contrast of all the pink and the purple and the glittery pink background.
It's crazy when I see 2010. I can't believe that movie came out 11 years ago, Tangled. So this is crazy.
Yeah. Michael says that Belle looks a bit mad at that pin. But these are really, really cute. These are limited to one per person. I'm assuming it's because they are really low LEs.
Yeah.
So this one also come out tomorrow at the same time as the other D23 pins. So it's at 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern. So definitely be on the lookout for those if you are trying to get those pins. And with that said, let me stop sharing my screen. We are already past the hour. So, Travis, what do you have coming up in your channel this week?
So, Stacey and I have been toying around with the idea. Like I said, we haven't been back to Disney in a year, but it's flower and garden time. We went last year, so we've been toying around with the idea of going back. So I would love to get back to our roots and kind of just doing some more vlog videos about being at Disney and maybe some of the food that they have at the Flower and Garden Festival. So we've been toying around with that idea. And then always with our pin videos, maybe showing a little bit more of my collection and things like that. So that's what we got kind of coming up. How about you? Can't hear you.
I just noticed that as I'm talking, I see a little pop that says you are muted. It's like, oh, that's a problem. So with me, I do have a couple of pin videos coming out this week. I'm actually going to work on those videos today. So I will be showing some new Harry Potter pins that I got this past week. Which came from the store in New York. So the biggest Harry Potter store will be opening in New York. It should have opened last year, but because of the pandemic, it got pushed back.
Yeah.
But it should be fully functional right now. So they're actually selling some of the merchandise through the Harry Potter shop. So so if you live, like kind of like on the east side, or I think really anywhere in the US, I think they ship from there.
Okay.
So shipping was pretty quick. It was like a next day shipping. I had no idea it was going to be that quick. So
That's
I got
great.
some pins from that. So I want to show that in one of my videos this week, and also my pin purchases for the month of February. So
Awesome.
just some pin content this week for sure. And then of course, next Sunday we'll be back with Disney Collectibles Sunday at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. if you are in the UK. And Travis, again, thank you so much for accepting the invitation. The hour went super duper fast.
Really fast. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. I
Yeah,
enjoyed being up here talking about pins, so it was awesome. Had a really good time, and talking about the other stuff too, like Funko Pops, and it's really interesting to learn about a little bit of different things that people collect. So.
absolutely. You're welcome back anytime. And then, thank you to everybody in the chat. Oh, yeah, I know. LJ, I just saw your message. You're on mute. Yeah, I didn't notice that. As I'm talking, I'm looking. It says you're muted. LJ, so there's a new, yeah, so it was supposed to open last year, but right, it kind of didn't open because of the pandemic. It's supposed to be the biggest Harry Potter store, I think, even compared to whatever stores they might have in the UK. So when they actually open it, I'm assuming it's going to be absolutely crazy, because I know there's people worldwide that are kind of keeping their eyes on when is it going to open. If
Yeah.
you go on their website, it says opening in 2021, but it doesn't have like a date. So I can only imagine it's going to be super crazy once they open. Yeah, there you go. You might need to take a trip there. Hey, Dan, good afternoon.
What's going on?
So yeah, I'm super excited about that. So if you go on the Harry Potter shop website, it will show you what stores you kind of purchase from, and then they ship from there. So I believe the New York store is the very first one that's listed, and it's broken down in departments. So you can go from there's a department where you can get collectibles like wands and pins, and another one where you can get the robes and things like that. So Lizzie says we don't have many stores here: Heathrow Airport, King's Cross Station, and the Studio Store. Okay, so yeah, I can only imagine. I really want to go once it opens, but it makes me a little nervous as to how crowded it's gonna be. Because Travis, I don't know if you've ever been to the Disney store in New York, but that's a big store and it's always busy, and it's for no particular reason.
Right. No, I haven't
So,
been. Stacey's been in New York a couple of times. I don't know if she went to the Disney store, but I can only imagine like how busy something like that would be. I can only imagine.
oh, look at this, Travis, come back.
Listen, thank you so much. I'll be back all the time if you guys would love to have me. I just love chatting about whatever you guys want to talk about, we'll talk about. But
All right,
I
well,
really appreciate it.
you're coming back. So we got a plan to have you again, definitely later during the spring. But yeah, so that's what we have coming up later on the channel. Just some more pin content and some more Harry Potter content as I get more and more into Harry Potter. So definitely, because I'll be spending some more money.
Listen, you're in there. Harry Potter's great, so I like that. You're in there.
Yeah. Oh, and again, thank you so much, everybody, for stopping by. Dan, thanks so much for stopping by. Lizzie, McDorks, Jody, and Laura. Oh, thank you, Laura. LJ, thanks so much for stopping by as well. Christy Eckert, Michael V. And I know that Ryan from the Frog Prince was here earlier today as well. Let's see if I missed anybody. If I did, I'm sorry, but thank you so much for everybody that was here. I know Val from Singer Family Adventures was here earlier today too. So again, everybody, thank you so much. And Travis, again, thanks so much for joining us. And we'll see you guys next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.